everybody! Well, today James and I are doing a bit of a collab project to help show off one of the most classic puzzle games of all time, Tetris. This was one of the first games I can remember seeing on the Game Boy, and to quickly explain the whole point of it, it's called Tetris because Tetch comes from some Greek or Roman pronoun or
I thought it was Russian.
prefix. Russian. Maybe it's Russian.
Yeah, it's Russian.
Well, Tetch means four, and so all these pieces, these tetraminos, are made of four. So join us for a great... No.
Yeah, we're going to stop you right there. Or stop me.
It's not going to be 30 minutes.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
it's not gonna be 30 minutes of just that original Tetris.
No, we're actually going to show off a whole bunch of versions of Tetris, each with their own cute little gimmicks or, well, just the visual flair of it all. Starting off with one that Logan and I actually butted heads with a while back, Magical Tetris Challenge for the N64.
I can attest to that. I was there.
I think I show off the story mode, but
This time
there
around.
are four unique campaigns technically, but yeah, really quick. So the base game of Tetris is that you need to use the Tetris blocks to make lines with, and it gets faster and faster, and that's really all you need to know. And ultimately, what we want to accomplish with this little series of games that both James has recorded, I've recorded, and we combined them, is just to show how Tetris as a game has evolved over the years.
What are you
How about that
doing
juicy
here?
point? I could ask you the same thing. You're up to something, aren't you're up to something again, aren't you?
Hey, Wolf, who's this guy? Man.
You fool.
That's right, him.
He's the one who always messes up our plans.
Actually, I was telling them this, Sealy, that photo
He's
of the
no
background.
friend to us.
It looks like almost looks like
Remember him
Toontown from
well.
Disneyland.
Kinda does.
It does.
I have no time to waste on you. Let's go, guys.
Hey, wait a second. Oops, it's already 2.
Yeah,
I
just
can't
the
waste
clock,
any more
City
time
Hall.
on them.
Yeah, it reminds me of Toontown from Disneyland. Anyway, hey Minnie.
Capcom had a really interesting way with pre-rendered backgrounds back in the time.
Hi,
Minnie.
Welcome!
Thank
I've
you.
been expecting you!
Thank you. My impression sucked.
What?
My impressions of her sucked when I tried doing
Cookies,
this.
who's gonna be hand with these cookies?
How are we gonna do that,
And
Minnie?
oh goodness,
Oh, Tetris cookies.
Oh, interesting.
I guess so.
You know what? I would totally buy that. But yeah. I mean, pay no mind to the fact we're literally baking cookies by literally duking it out with each other with Tetris. But it should be said because we may have brought it up during our little live versus match of Magical Tetris Challenge a few years back. But this is a very colorful and very competitive version of Tetris, and honestly, I think it's one of the better ones out there. Because the gimmick of Magical Tetris Challenge is that, along with your standard Tetraminos, you also have access to, access in quotes, to a very interesting subset of them called the Magical Tetraminos. If you're able to pull off a high enough combo against your opponent will start basically they'll be given a whole bunch of, the Magical Tetraminos, which are really weirdly shaped Tetraminos that can, for the most part, they're supposed to be a hindrance, but if you know how to play your cards right, they can actually do much more damage than
Oh
regular
boy, I
Tetraminos.
hate those ones.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
so that's the thing. It's a unique thing. Usually, like with Tetris Attack, you would add lines to the opponent, but in
to
here
be fair,
you actually
Tetris
just
Attack
give
isn't even Tetris to begin with.
right. So instead, you get this one's like changed up a bit. Anyway, sorry. So I think when we brought up cookies, Sealy, were you going to bring up the ice tray?
Yes. I was.
I was gonna. And before you get into that real quick, I want to say I do appreciate the detail that Mickey's little idle animation there is basically Steamboat Willie.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, to be fair, it makes sense considering, they're pretty much working these little Tetris machines as literal steering wheels.
Yeah. Anyway, so what were you saying, Sealy?
So yeah, when the first time I went to Sec Anime, we were in the vendor's hall, and I found a Tetris ice tray.
Huh.
Oh, me.
Oh yeah!
Whoa, what
I
the?
think-
Rainbow?
If you pull off enough combos, then you basically could wipe out half of the screen, which can be really big help. Especially
nice.
if it's congested with a whole bunch of pieces.
Oh,
like
Minnie's not gonna be happy.
Minnie's about to be.
Oh boy.
So yeah, the ice tray is really cool. Tetris shaped ice cubes.
Yeah,
that does sound pretty cool. Must be a real bitch to put them all in the glass.
Oh.
Seems like
well,
it.
sometimes the shapes can be a little bit off, but
Yeah.
they're small enough. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be some sort of like There's got to be some sort of like. There's got to be some like Tetramino shaped cookie jar.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Or cookie mold. I should
took the
say.
words
Yeah,
right out
Cookie
of my
mold
mouth.
would make sense.
Yeah.
By the way, Minnie, what kind of cookies are we making anyway? Vegetable cookies, straight from
He's not
Goofy's
lying.
garden.
He's not lying.
I was gonna say that
that.
about that particular ice tray. I think you can buy it on Amazon.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
But anyway, going back real quick, that actually is canon though. Like, if you play Minnie's campaign, it's confirmed that she's literally making vegetable cookies from the vegetables in Goofy's farm.
How do you even make vegetable cookies?
You can pretty much make anything into cookies. Do you think they're ready to eat?
I mean, look at carrot cake.
And look who's here to mess things up. Pete, what do you want?
This doesn't concern you. Step back. Hello, Minnie. I've come for you. Marry me.
Are you crazy? How can I marry you? I love Mickey.
Let's try that again. Minnie, would you do me the honor of agreeing to marry me?
Take notes, Bowser.
Wait, what?
You will marry
no.
me, Minnie, won't you?
Yes, with pleasure.
What are you saying, Minnie?
Gosh dang it.
What happened to you?
Screw you, Mario and comic.
Stop! Can't you see that you've been fooled by Pete?
Evidently
Dude,
not.
Jafar.
Man, I gotta thank Jafar for this thing. You're such a
Exactly.
pest. You've heard what she said, didn't you? Take this.
Take what?
And bonk.
Oh,
Flashing
no.
light.
What the?
What the heck? Where am I? What am I doing here?
We've been
How do
teleported.
we do that? I don't have time for this. I must save Minnie.
Hey guys, I'm just
Okay.
leaving right there. This is the ice cube tray in question.
Okay, I'll get that later.
Alrighty.
Oh god, here we go.
Stop. You cannot pass, Mickey.
Goofy, this is no time for jokes.
I'm the guardian of these hard parts.
Let me go.
No, I cannot. If I let you pass, I will anger Sir Pete,
Aw,
and I will
man.
He's under my
rain his
control, too.
judgment down.
Oh, what's going on, Goofy? What's wrong?
I may let you pass if you can beat me in a game of Mortal Kombat. No, in Tetris. You must face me in the.
Tetris.
You know,
I will let you.
it's still funny to me that a
let's stop
freaking
there.
like an official Mickey short actually got away with a Mortal Kombat homage.
They did. Also, we're
Like
gonna
way back
stop
from
there.
from the mid '90s at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Brain.
right. The game that Mickey was playing in
Brain.
Runaway
Yeah,
Brain.
brain.
Anyway,
Yeah, we're gonna stop
so-
there.
So,
'Cause I want
yeah,
to show
what's
off
next?
this.
What is
Well, I
this?
An odd,
Fellow citizens,
an odd story.
we are facing
I was just gonna say, I noticed that this was made by the same team that made both the Crash Titans games.
Less than 1 million
And Hulk
planets
Ultimate Destruction.
could support
That too.
This is the story of Tetris people
The Tetraminos.
and the Tetraminos themselves. Also, apologies for the low, like, anti-aliasing.
No, I
This is
didn't
a-
know. I didn't realize until today that they were called
Adar will
Tetraminos.
briefly become
Yep.
the brightest
So
object
apparently
in our
their universe is about to
galaxy.
go kaput with a supernova, and it's up to them to find a new home to migrate to. And they have found numerous planets, it would seem, with a lot of different varieties and many different styles, and they're going to send some brave scouts out there to determine which planet is the best to inhabit.
Let me guess.
And-
At the very end, they migrate on Earth.
That'd be interesting. And thus, I welcome you to Tetris Worlds. It is, I would argue, one of the most varied Tetris games because it incorporates it was one of the first to incorporate numerous styles of Tetris. Everything from Cascade Tetris to Time Attack Tetris to Freeze to a lot of different modes. I think I show off Cascade Tetris in this look at of this game. And by the way, James, the ways that we edited these is that we're tackling. Also, don't mind that audio glitch. That's just emulation for you. I own this game on Xbox One, but thank goodness it's also on GameCube, and I can emulate that better.
So
Yeah,
technically,
Tetris
he's
rewards.
not breaking the law.
Correct. And just going around it somewhat, I guess. So I'll be playing as on this random file that this dude Deneb made. Let's give him a cool cap. Yeah, let's go with that dude. Anyway, so I'm gonna and all these different worlds have different games like Fusion Tetris, Hotline Tetris, Sticky Tetris. So I'm gonna show off Cascade Tetris for this one.
How appropriate! It's
And-
underwater.
But yeah, okay, back to the editing. The editing is that James and I are playing this in chronological order of releases, like up until like where Tetris started, where it's been going, and where it currently is in this year that I decided to like show it off.
So yeah, stay tuned.
So, welcome to Cascade Tetris. The way this works is that it's normal Tetris at first, except every time you break a block, notice how the pieces that happen to be above kind of got broken. Dang it! Kind of got broken up into smaller pieces. Those ones can actually fall down and complete other lines like that.
Ooh, that's pretty
That's
neat.
how you
it's
do
kinda like-
cascades.
So it's kind of like Puyo Puyo?
It's nothing like Puyo Puyo.
I was
More on that
wondering what you
later.
were gonna
Yeah, I was
say.
about to say. Yeah, more on that later.
But also, as you can see,
But am I wrong?
It definitely. No, you're kind of right. It is pretty much like that. And also, as you can see in the upper left there, this also changed. Clearly, there were games before this that did this, but this is the first game we're showing off that introduces the hold mechanic, which makes for a lot more strategy and timing when you want to use a particular piece. Like, I don't like any of these pieces. On, and that's why you can control that, and then if I don't like
I
the
think you
piece
can
I
probably use it
have.
now if you want to. Yeah.
So like, see, I can control when I use my pieces in order to make the most out of them. That's about it.
Sweet.
So now that we're doing all this, and since I'm honestly going to be playing this until I like win and or bump out. I think this one is just endurance.
Oh yeah, I just realized there's a pretty
Yeah,
strict
I was
time
gonna
limit
say
right
there's
there.
a timer.
Oh, then you're right. Yeah. So it is until I just outright lose. Every time you level up, the timer does go up though. See, now it goes back up to 2 minutes.
Oh
So
god.
Underwater.
Oh,
but it
jeez,
does get
it's warped.
faster. It does get faster, so careful. Anyway, so hi, how were you introduced to Tetris? Since I don't even have to ask if you've been introduced, you have been introduced, you just don't know yet.
I have. I'm just. Truth be told, I don't mean this as like a complete slam on Tetris, but to me, it's one of those games where I never really put a whole lot of thought into how I got introduced into it. Just that I did.
It's just like it's like one of those things like you don't even know how it happened. You just okay, suddenly I'm playing this game. But yeah, again, this is probably one of the most like well-known puzzle games ever.
Truth be told, like, I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and bring in my thoughts on the matter. Like, technically, I did get my first exposure to it with Magical Tetris Challenge, but back when I first played it, I didn't know what the fuck to make out of it. I was kind of a stupid child back then, so honestly, it just didn't like occur to me like what I'm supposed to do. But I think my first proper exposure to the game was either through Tetris DS or I think it was either Tetris DS or I'll just say DS because I do remember playing Tetris World myself, but I think I played it after I tried DS, and I will admit the jump between the two. I mean, there's kind of a reason why I do kind of prefer DS by comparison.
Oh, yeah, and spoilers, we'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, that I think it was Tetris DS that really got me back into it as well. It had a lot of fun, like different modes and stuff to it.
And I believe it's one of the few times where Nintendo actually went and developed a third-party game themselves.
Which I think they did a great job with it.
Agreed. Like it's really one of the better Tetris games out there.
Oh, definitely.
Especially if you're really into the retro aesthetic, but we'll get more into that later. I mean, I look back on Tetris World real quick. Like, it's funny how I actually got a chance to try this game out myself. I think I literally got it through like back in elementary school, you had those little catalogs with books you can order from them.
Yeah.
And I do remember there was one that was actually centered around like PC gaming or whatnot. Though they also had the occasional console game on there, and I did actually find a copy of the GameCube Tetris World.
Okay, it looks like I stopped there because it went on for a long while. So
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, all
There's
right.
a lot happening.
I'll go ahead and take over for this next bit. Tetris DS.
Hey, Link.
But as I said
yeah.
before, this is one of my first major exposures to Tetris, and boy, was it a good one.
Mario, DK,
One of the-
Why didn't
one of
I
the-
play this?
Fighter,
it is available on eShop, isn't it?
It's unfortunately it's not.
Dang, so it's just an emulation for us. But yeah, this is definitely one of the most Nintendo-centric ones, as you can clearly see already.
It's the Nintendo-centric one.
Made it.
And well, for now I'm gonna go ahead and just play the typical marathon mode. But the reason why I do so though is because I do like what they do with it in terms of the aesthetic. Like every time you level up, not every time you level up, but every 3 level ups, I think.
For level?
No, it's 3. It's either 2 or 3. But every 2 or 3 level ups, you do the scenery actually does change. Like for now, we're literally going through the overworld of Mario 1, and then we go to underground, and then we move on to Mario 3, and then
It goes all over the place. No, it starts going all over the place. Then it starts. I know, like towards the end of the game, you start jumping to Zelda and Metroid, and then
I want to say Duck Hunt might be part of it too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's all paying tribute through the NES library.
Yeah, so no Mario World or Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time, which would be interesting. By the way, that turned 20 today.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? Well, at the time of
And I'm gonna
recording
record
this, yeah.
stuff when this is over.
It's such a nice game.
Well,
I'm helping her.
Rest assured,
Yay!
folks, we actually will be doing a commentary of that game sooner or later, but it's gonna be a while.
Hold your horses. We'll make them. Hold your horses. We'll make them
It's
commentators.
in
when we
the
get
works.
To it.
I will say that. It's my commentary. It's in the works.
We'll fry up them commentators when it's time for breakfast.
And then watch as they eventually just, I don't know, somehow find them port up the 3D version of the Switch or something like
Which
this.
would be nice. It would be nice if they ported it up, but Sealy would rather you
Yeah, I know.
do something than give it up.
I just of course.
I would buy it for her if it came out on the Switch.
Oh yeah, no, dude. If that does ever come, if we ever get a more proper HD remake of Zelda, kind of like Ocarina of Time 3D or whatever, hell, just port it for all I care. I would prefer if we actually did that version as opposed to the N64 version because they made a couple of changes for the better. But
Just watch. After my commentary's finished, it'll happen.
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened to our channel.
That's the same dude. That's the. Oh, that's right. Tetris DS does have its fair share of additional modes outside of Marathon mode, one being the puzzle mode, which obviously is based on Yoshi's Cookie.
So the idea is that you want to try and clear all the pieces by using what we have to our availability. So you can decide when, you can decide the orientation, and from there the game just puts it where it can complete a line. And
Yay.
you want to try and get them all clear.
Yay!
Look at Yoshi eating the cookies. He's so happy.
Oh, the cookies. I've never had a macaroon
Oh,
before.
look, very
A what?
briefly, it almost looked like he winked at you.
Never had
did.
a what?
Well, he does. Whenever you, I never had a macaroon before.
Me neither, and I never really.
And yeah, no. Whenever you clear it, hype, look at him. He winks.
Yeah, see?
Funny enough, I do believe that's official artwork from the original game that they sort of edited.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
the other
which
big
is
thing
kind
that
of-
they.
Yeah, it's kind of funny
this
that
is
he
the-
winks like that. It's kind of like Diddy Kong winking.
In a
And
way,
this
yes.
is the, and
I
this
will
was the
be
big
right
thing.
back.
Okay, and I
Okay.
skipped ahead to when James figured this out. But yeah, this
Thank
is another big thing they added just to market the whole DS thing is
what?
touch mode. How does this work, James?
So, long story short, because this is on the system that pretty much brought us the revolutionary touch technology, you move all the Tetraminos by literally touching them. They already have a preset amount of Tetraminos that you have to alter in order to clear them all out. But otherwise, your main goal here is to pretty much. You saw earlier that there's pretty much a cage up top, and you have to bring it down all the way in the bottom in order to clear the puzzle.
So yeah, so the idea is that you want to rotate these things and drag them so that they make lines for you.
Yes.
You know, I'm
It's
not
deceptively
gonna lie,
tricky if you don't
I'm not-
think ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if this is a popular opinion, but out of the ones we've seen so far, this one looks the most finicky.
It is
Can be.
It is a touch finicky. I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, once you start figuring it out and once you're moving individual pieces, it is kind of like Cascade like that, I think, actually. But when you start moving
And that's
around
what
like
I
this, we're just showing off touch mode, which is kind of like Cascade, only you use the stylus to drag the pieces around so that you make lines to drag that cage of balloons down.
Yeah. Other modes I will not be showing off are there's the Metroid segment of Tetris DS. You're practically moving the board as it pretty much just what's the
That's
word?
right. It's like a spaceship and like it's moving around. It's
There.
like you're making Tetraminos in 3D, like in all directions around you.
Yes, and
That's crazy.
And I do believe there's the Zelda portion of it is literally a mission mode.
Yeah, so you want to like do certain things. There's Donkey
only-
Kong mode, which is like a rush mode. I think.
Yeah, the Donkey Kong one's the one I have the least amount of experience with. Oh,
Tetris.
hello. We're going from
Oh.
the one portion of the console war to the other.
Welcome to the Nintendo Switch on Puyo Tetris.
Oh,
One of the
boy.
The one
You know-
collaboration
you know what?
that everyone asked for.
I was thinking of this game earlier today for some reason.
It's a very fun game, and the story is really cute, and yeah, they do a really nice way of like combining them all. And
And of course,
I'm-
I was thinking of that level you were stuck on. I forget his
Yeah.
name.
which also just gonna say right now,
Well, let's see
Sega
if I
clear, Sega was clearly being a bit biased because they made their own like Puyo Puyo thing so much easier to do better in than with Tetris. So
Well,
rather
to be
than
fair-
trying
to
to
be,
do
to
it,
be fair, there's a good reason for that because, well, it's so much easier to get combos from Tetris than from Puyo Puyo.
well, the other way around, yeah. So rather than trying to do, I'll just be frank. I tried
what
doing,
the-
welcome to Fusion Mode, which combines the powers of Tetris and Puyo. Ah, shoot, should have waited.
Oops.
It combines the features of Tetris and Puyo Puyo. All you have to know is that the Tetris blocks are far heavier than the Puyo Puyos, so they're always going to go slam right down to the bottom of the screen.
Which I do think was a good
Oh,
attention to detail, and honestly, it does help in the long run considering the fact that, well, if the Puyos got in the way, then that would definitely be.
Oh heck, that
it
would
would
make
be
it so much
problematic as
harder.
all get out.
Yeah. So other than that, I'm just gonna be showing up. Yeah, let me just be frank. I tried 5 times to show off a simple normal v normal.
Who knows?
Here they come. Oh wait.
This. Ooh, ooh.
Nice.
Woo!
Okay.
Good so far.
Yeah, sometimes you get these weird shape blocks and weird shape Puyos actually. Yes, to that. So I was gonna say, I tried 5 times to just do a simple normal v normal Tetris versus Puyo match, and I got destroyed by the AI every time.
Ouch.
They can
Do
do
you-
so much. They can do a lot so quickly.
What difficulty did you fight them on?
Normal. That was it. It was just versus mode. But just
Do you?
goodness me.
Oh, okay. It's set when you switch. I was about to ask how it is when you switch between the Puyos and the Tetraminos.
Oh yeah, if you look on the next bar on the right, you can tell what's going to be coming up next.
Yep,
Sometimes you'll get little mixtures where like it'll swap between Puyos and Tetraminos. You just have to time it. But anyway,
so
there we
like-
go.
Ooh. So the Tetraminos just like
Aha!
automatically
Ooh,
squish
nice.
all the. So the Tetraminos
Yes.
just automatically squish any Puyo in its path.
To go back to the top, if it's on top of it.
They
See that-
to be fair, thankfully though they don't out like kill them or anything. They just pass through them.
But yeah, that yellow Puyo in the bottom right there is protected by the blocks around it, which is why it hasn't been crushed as it should be. That'll change soon, hopefully. But yeah, and as you can see, like the reason it's a lot easier to make make combos in this because it treats both line clears and Puyos as part of the combo.
Which
I like their shocked expression as they fuse together.
yeah.
It's like
Also, I will admit, kind of something we're not going to be able to see because this is a fusion match. The more combos you get, the more you get these little splash screens of the characters literally just doing their ultimate attack, and the others
It's
just
so
taking it like a jump.
oh, and by the way, the writing in this game is as crazy as a Puyo game should be.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
There
Yet
you are.
it's stupid yet meaningful, and I love it.
There, yeah.
Oh, one of my
I'm
favorite characters.
I think it knows how stupid it is and just runs with it.
Well, yeah, no, the frickin' they in both the Japanese and English they have that one knight guy who keeps accidentally saying double entendre without meaning to.
Yes. I love that bastard so much just for that.
Anyway, I
But
was
I'm-
gonna ask. I remember you guys talking about.
Nice.
I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I remember you guys talking about. I want to make sure if this is the game I'm thinking of. Is this the game that had Dr. Wily as a guest character?
I just got-
Maybe.
Aw.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember
I-
one of you guys saying that Dr. Wily from Mega Man was a guest character on this, or am I thinking of a different game?
You're
Yay
probably
for-
thinking of a much different game.
Yay
And
for
with that-
Apple!
And with that, we now have made it to the year 2018. And this game, this is technically the demo that came out weeks ago. I now own the game fully. This is Tetris Effect. This was announced at E3. This was announced at E3, and it's created by the developer of Res HD, Lumines, big musical like puzzle guy. And his interpretation of Tetris, I think, does not disappoint. If you like him for the work that he's done on Res and Lumines, then this is definitely a game for you.
Or
I
are you
think.
talking about that guy that Matt loves to call an unlikable jerk?
No,
I
you're
don't
thinking
think
of you're
so.
thinking of Phil Fish.
Yeah, that's Phil Fish.
But
I
doesn't-
gotta
Who did
turn.
Fez.
I gotta turn this up.
But I was about to say, didn't Phil Fish work on Res?
No.
No, you're thinking Fez.
Fez.
Oh.
Res HD is a different game.
Okay.
It's like a shooter game, and like anyway. So
Wow.
again, like I guess the whole point of looking at this whole big thing is, again, if you look at it, like it's still Tetris. You're using the Tetraminos. You're still
Same game
making
as
the
always.
lines. You have the holds, but just
Oh, it's so cool.
the whole. Yeah. By the way, I guess if we stay quiet for a second here.
Probably doing something.
All right, that's not being quiet time. Just showing that like all my movements are synced up and play notes related to the song that's being
in a way,
played.
it's exactly like freaking. It's exactly like Luminous.
And
Gotcha.
goodness, I love the visuals and the music that is in this
It's
game. There's a whole
amazing.
soundtrack. I
I
think
get the
I think
feeling that.
yeah. Go ahead.
I was about to say, I get the feeling that, like, not for nothing, I get the feeling that all those pretty visuals in the background might potentially distract people from keeping their eyes on the actual Tetris game going on.
It can be though. I just like zoom in. Oh, and there is an option if you want to turn off these cool, like the blocks. The Tetraminos themselves do stylize with the level. You do have the option to turn those off and just have them be the classic colors. And the big thing that this game introduced. Oh, I love the song.
Me too.
Anyway, the story mode of Tetris Effect is just like you have to clear a certain number of lines in each course, and the speed will just. I'll fix it. And
Okay.
the score just kind of changes whenever it feels like it. Shoot, whatever.
Ow.
Whatever. We'll just work with it. And the other big thing that this game added was something I'll show off in a little bit. They did add one other huge mechanic to the game itself, but they also have these things called effect modes, which let you get to play other kinds of classics like good old Marathon, Arcade. I don't know if there's a multiplayer like attack version yet, but I would love that. And
I feel like there should be in a game like this.
and unfortunately, it is only a PS4 exclusive for now. I would love this on the Switch, but they also made this
I'm honestly convinced, though, the main reason why it's that way is because they really wanted to promote this alongside the PSVR.
Yeah, they really were trying to up it, which I have heard it looks gorgeous in the VR to like look around and see
Which
it
is
all.
funny because it's funny because it's Tetris.
But like you can look around and like the speakers, the headphones. I could actually rotate the camera if I wanted to, but I don't want to. Might as well just focus on it.
Can you zoom in the puzzle?
I could, but I didn't want to because I wanted. I mean, if I was playing the game and not right against my TV screen, I totally would. But since we're watching video, I might as well show off the full like visuals and stuff going around
Yeah, we
us.
fully appreciate the colors or lack thereof.
But
That
just
feels
to,
so
just to
right.
see if it proves my point, were there any instances when you were recording this where the visuals did kind of distract you from making moves?
Nah, the most I will say is that, as you can sometimes see, the Tetraminos sometimes blend too well into the background, and so I may accidentally realize I didn't rotate it properly and may have screwed
Well,
myself
I think
up.
what
Yeah.
helps is that the background is mostly in black, and there is an outline to showcase where you can still land the Tetraminos.
Right, and again, if it ever is that big of a problem, you can always, again, turn that off. So, I should get around to the big thing that this game added, which I think I show off in a second here. See that little max meter that it's in the lower left there? That I've been filling up? Welcome to the zone meter. The zone meter is interesting in that whenever I start completing lines, they jump to the bottom of the screen, and I can continue to make more and more line clears, going further and further and further. Keep going, crank that thing up.
Work that sucker to death.
Come on
Oh,
now,
I'm gonna
work
run
that
out here.
sucker
Okay.
down.
And bam!
Wow.
And that's
you literally made an Octorus.
and that's how you can start clearing far more than 4 lines at a time. I
So
think.
for those that have a hard time trying to get simple Tetrises, well, you can use
You
that.
can do that, and you can basically slow down time, and yeah, it's a really nice thing. I think the highest I ever gotten was I cleared 15 or 13 lines at a
All
time.
right, so what do they consider that?
I think they call it a perfectress.
Perfectress.
Tetris.
There's perfectress. I think there's
That one was
dodeca-
clearly made of.
shit.
Oh,
There's
oops.
dodecahexatris. Okay, let's use some more zone meter to fix this problem out a bit. Come on. Oh shoot, I need well whatever. It still helped it a bit, but yeah, like part of what helps is that again, any lines you clear are immediately shifted down to the bottom of the screen, so you can continue like moving pieces upward. It's really nice, and having played it, there's definitely some replayability if you're an arcadey fan. The story mode itself could, if you're good enough, easily be completed within like a couple hours. But just I don't know, like as a modern take of Tetris is concerned, I think they did a really nice job with this.
I know this is kind of a reach to say, but would you consider this basically the Tetris equivalent to Fantasia?
I could see that, honestly, yeah, with all the different styles. Oh no, they have all sorts of styles. They have this techno. We just saw like a nice cool pop back there. They have the cool little piano ballad, almost like Rhapsody in Blue from Fantasia 2000 that they do at one point. They have choir. They have here we're about to see a freaking tribal scene.
Oh shit!
It's all about fire and stuff like that. But
Nice.
I can tell.
But,
yeah,
just all the different visuals. Again, if this wasn't PS4 exclusive, I think this could be a great seller on the Switch. And considering
I wouldn't be surprised though if another part of it is that maybe Sony had a little more to do with this than
I'm sad
Maybe.
now. I want to play this game, but I don't have the system.
maybe I would just say that I would just hope that maybe if they have an exclusivity deal, then maybe it expires at some point and we do get something. Because bear in mind the VR thing is optional. If you don't have a VR and you still like Tetris, I could still wholeheartedly recommend this game. They have these sort of like Splatfest kind of things every weekend.
Honestly, if you need a VR headset just to play Tetris, then you kind of did it wrong.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Oh, you did it wrong. Okay.
Speaking of doing it wrong.
Oh no!
No. What I'm trying to do is I'm
there
trying to
you
build
go.
up a big zone meter
Oh, okay. Well,
so that I can start clearing a lot of lines at a time.
well,
here, like
what
that,
do you know?
And that.
But yeah, if I could
that-
just say real
whatever.
quick, is
9 lines.
this might sound odd, but for me it just feels so surreal that there are people out there that are still trying to do things with Tetris, kind of like this. And not for nothing, it does look good, but it's just one of those things where it feels like it's like I have a hard time believing that there are still people that are trying to fiddle with this kind of game, if that makes sense.
Well,
There's a lot
I think what helps is that it's such a simple game to make. Like, you could do so much with it outside of just, well, the gameplay. And they just run with it.
I don't know.
That-
I know,
that
we're
is-
not, I mean, hell, we're not
really-
even, we're not even bringing, we didn't even show off, like, some of the others. Tetris games like the Party series or,
Freaking the Grandmaster, like the.
oh,
it is this,
Grandmaster, dear God.
so it is this whole thing that I love, where it's like, no matter what, I messed up there. But this whole thing of like, that is something cool to look at this and just quickly just take a look at this. Like, I'm still playing Tetris. The game itself, like it's not. There are some games like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey and all these other games where like people think that they have to push the budget, they have to keep changing, make it a brand new everything. Just you have a guy Tetris who likes Tetris and he'll still enjoy it and have fun.
Oh yeah, no, like Tetris as a game is pretty hard to fuck up. So
And it's yeah,
that's why there's still Tetris games to this day.
There's still, and I know there are still people who to the end, and not to put any like pressure to like a certain version. Like I know there are some people who to this day still swear by it that the classic Game Boy is still the best version.
Yeah.
There are people like, just depends on whatever you like feeling. Me personally, I think Tetris Effect is my current favorite to really enjoy, and that's all I can really say to goodness me. Like
My heart still belongs to Magical Tetris Challenge, even though the only thing I wish that, honestly, it makes me wish that game did have like a hold system. Otherwise, I would consider it perfect. But otherwise, yeah, like whether it be this or Magical Tetris Challenge or Tetris DS or Puyo Puyo Tetris, you really can't go wrong with it.
did you happen to have ever a favorite version of Tetris, Celia and Hype?
The original will always hold a special place in my heart.
That's fair.
The original NES one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other original Tetris.
There we go. And with that said, that is where the demo of Tetris Effect ends after this one, and
Nice.
A rank.
Hey!
So, yeah.
Hey!
So yeah, that's where I'm gonna have to unfortunately end this little anthology look at thing. But just Tetris has come such a long way, and seeing this game come out just is so nice to see that it is still staying strong in the hearts of games and all that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, with that said, thank you all so much for sticking through with us and seeing how the game's evolved for a while. I'm Lucky Jack 20.
I'm Mickey Mouse.
Hi, I'm Princess Lita.
Sorry.
And announcing Tetris 06.
Bye, everybody.
Till next time, guys.
Bye bye.